Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 36 at Saratoga. 36 talking horses. Keisha Clement, Andy Serling on another absolutely gorgeous day.
It is beautiful today. A little bit warmer than yesterday, which is nice, I think. And yeah, it's going to be a really, really nice afternoon. And I just realized we're matching, actually, too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
spoke to your husband, and he told me what you were wearing, so I could wear the same thing.
Wow.
He has no idea what you're wearing.
He has
so-
no clue. No clue at all. He's going to blame me for his fashion anyway.
There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm wearing. Anyhow, it's good to be here.
It's just we're at the end of the closet now.
No, see, I save some, good stuff for the end.
I
wanna
do
be
too. I do
fresh.
too.
You look,
Yeah.
I have not seen
Thank
this.
you.
This is
No, I can't repeat up here.
Johnny and I were just talking about the Mets sweeping the Phillies. Sorry if you're a Phillies fan, but we're happy over here. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got 11 races today, so we'll get right to work. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code SPA200. We'll match with $200 of your initial deposit. We have the Friday contest feeder, $40 buy-in to try to qualify for the $300 Saturday contest, which if you don't play the feeder, you can play the contest, all played through Naira Bets. More information at nairabets.com/contests. We have a 10% exacta bonus, hitting exacta to Saratoga. Want to opt in for that over at Naira Bets. We've got a cross-country pick 5, involves 2 at Horseshoe Indy and 3 races here, including the with anticipation. And we've got the low rollers. You know the drill. The Ray and Jay show over by the 4-Star Dave Miller Time Bar, Sports Bar. $40 buy-in, 30 towards your bankroll, 10 of the prize pool. A very popular contest. Very happy we were able to bring them back this year after they weren't in play last year. But happy to have that. And, of course, the opportunity to get to know Ray and Jay is something that if you haven't done it, you don't realize what you're missing. We've got the Taste of New York Pavilion over by Gate A in the Family Zone, Thursdays through Sunday, so just a few more days. A lot of great stuff made here in the state of New York. We have a giveaway tomorrow, a quarter zip giveaway, the final, not tomorrow, Sunday, excuse me, while supplies last. That one feels like it's going to go pretty quickly.
I think that'll be popular.
Yes, I think it will be.
One.
And finally, last but not least, 1 until midnight, covering the 11. Although it's
On forever.
Only 11 today, but keep in mind it will go 12, 13, and 14 in the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And don't we know it. Race number 1. Let's see if I have any videos for this. I do. I have San Antonio Sarah, who I believe...
That's the only one with experience in this race.
Yes. Did you pick her anywhere? I picked her
I
second. No,
picked
the
her-
8
I'm
has
sorry,
it.
no, the 8 has
Yeah.
experience as well. I picked her on top, actually. Yes.
Okay, well-
I thought that in her debut, which was against Open Company, she's going to face New York breds today for
Between
the
horses,
first time.
sorry.
Between horses. She kind of had to be kind of niggled on early, and then she actually ran on well between horses. She's the 7 there in the white cap. I thought that there was something to be said for that. It looked like she was just starting to really get going late. Like I said, she faces New York breds for the first time. She worked 10-1 at the 2-year-old sale. Thought she moved pretty well there, and thought that there was license for her to improve.
These are really getting very upfront and personal around here, aren't they?
Gotten a few
I don't
times the
can't I
last
just get
couple
right
days.
into your stuff, right in your face. I didn't love the race overall.
That's fair.
I thought she ran okay. The second place finisher did come back and I think improve 11 buyer points in the subsequent start. I'm not going to argue, and I think experience for both. And Cantor and San Antonio Sarah is good. Irad takes over in Cantor with Jose, I assume, going to Kentucky Downs.
Qatar.
I will not be looking at a single race at Kentucky Downs. It's just too many horses, too many races, too much to look at. If you're going to actually look at that place, you have no chance anyway. But you certainly have no chance if you don't really do a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of breeding information to
There
look
is
up
a
as
lot-
well.
There is a lot to look at.
As a friend of mine said, it's like the claw. It looks really great, that game in the video arcade, and you always come away with nothing. Anyhow.
Sometimes you might come away with something.
Right, but it's very rare and it's very random. I put the first-time starter for Klarovich in the outside. I have no idea if this horse can run. I'm going to hope this horse can run. It just seems like running one in here would be pretty interesting. The 7 and 8 are fine. You've got the 2 Amicus Curray, who I have fourth as well, and you have second.
I thought this one was interesting. Bruce Levine, 2-year-old first-time starter, so you can really have one ready. I know you haven't seen many recently, but he has 6 for 28, winning 32% in the money in a 3.99 ROI. I liked the workouts for this one, actually. I watched the workout 2-back. Breaking from the gate, was very quick out, galloped out much the best. I thought training nicely. I really liked the Tiz the Laws, and I thought this one was a little bit interesting.
I love this as a loss. He's been really good.
He's
Turf,
been
dirt.
really
He's
good on any surface.
Yeah, I agree. And I am the president of the Bruce Levine fan club. I've been around the racetrack a long time, and to win the way Bruce has and continues to do is no mean feat. I mean, I know he's under the radar. He's not getting somebody who's going to get a lot of the top kind of horses, so he's not an everyday name, but he has won on this circuit for a
really good horseman.
long time.
Yeah.
No, I agree. A good guy and a terrific trainer as well, and I was a fan of his long before I ever knew him. Race number 2 on the turf, it's a bit of a guessing game. You have gone to the one, Susie, who I had fifth.
Yeah.
I couldn't take the Union Rags.
I knew you were going to say that.
I couldn't do it.
And to be fair, I really was interested in the pedigree on the bottom side.
Me
but
too.
Everything about it does say longer. So that's my biggest concern with this one. She is by Union Rags. In the second generation, there's a huge pedigree. The second dam is Lady Shirl, who, of course, is the dam of Shakespeare, Perfect Shirl, all those good horses.
She's one of the greatest dams of recent years.
Incredible. The Deep family. And in the immediate family, this one's half to Winter's Back, who's multiple graded stakes place too. So there's a massive pedigree on this filly. But like I said, with that, and then even the Union Rags, it does say longer. I couldn't look away from that family.
I believe me, I gave this horse a long look, and I say what, Graham, if you get this horse to win at 5.5 furlongs, you're already one of my heroes, but you get even higher up the scale. I could not do it with that pedigree and the Union Rag stuff. I took Mousseline.
It's another huge pedigree.
Here. This is a giant pedigree. I mean, there's a $5 million winner, that European Hawksbill. Yeah, and there's other runners from the dam. The dam was good on the turf. It's hard spun. And I know she's getting a little older, the dam. That always worries me a little bit. But I feel like she also has the dam of Free Drop Billy, which I know you know, but more of a dirt horse.
He won the Hopeful.
I'm going to, for Dale Romans. I'm going to take this one. It's strictly a guess. The 10, I wanted to show Market Hours 2-year-old sales work. I don't know about you. I thought this work was really impressive.
I thought it was too. I went back to this horse for so long. It's just there's so much more of. There's a little bit of turf in the pedigree, but typically, as we talk about, when Chad Brown does this with horses that have pedigree leaning one way or the other, and he does the opposite, it's a very good sign. I thought this one was a really nice 10 flat work. Filly by Practical Joke makes quite a bit of sense. I did think in the last workout, watching it on First TV, was very green in the morning and slightly second best to the workmate. So that kind of put me off her a little bit, but the sales work was very impressive.
I agree. We both have cadenza in there. There is plenty of turf pedigree. I just feel like Irad Ortiz going to this horse is going to make him attract more attention.
She's going to take money.
And she did run well in the Ornalea race, but Steer Clear is the one she dueled with in there, the Tots horse, and I just thought she ran so much better. There's a lot of hype for this one, and I feel like there's a lot of hype for Brad to go to the turf this quickly, even though there is pedigree, obviously.
That is fair. There's, as you said, plenty of pedigree. I mean, just everything in the family, the siblings, has been stakes quality, which has been impressive. But it's half to Grecian Fire was good on turf. Several of them have been able to run well on it. So I do think it's interesting as the pedigree is there. I thought this was a really fun race.
I agree. Even Vajra, I mean, she has obviously been a massive disappointment.
I know.
I guess they're trying turf. I just didn't like how she gave it up so readily last time. But that was a tough field.
The turf workout.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't. She was with Bred to Run, who is a 3-year-old, but is more of a claiming type of horse. And she was a little bit eager early, but then she was passed by that one late, which I didn't love.
She is quick. And Ricardo knows how to get a speed horse out, that's for sure. Race number 3, I think you and I are on the same page. We went in a different direction. I feel like the winner comes between Mogo and this horse, the Boondocker, who we'll look at here.
I like the name, the
Yeah,
Boondocker.
It's a great name, I know. I'm trying to decide whether or not this is a negative drop down or Chad trying to win a race up in Saratoga with a horse, and he's being a bit more realistic. But I got to tell you something. After the way Wise Up, who ran second, ran so well here the other day, and I know it was being aggressive, that certainly helped in there. I'm a little surprised he's dropping, and this makes me a little bit nervous, but his last 2 races are going to make him very tough in
I
here.
agree. I do think that the cutback in distance is a little interesting as well. To the 7/8, obviously
You know
should
I
be
love
able to
that.
handle it fine. Has some early speed. Was a little bit wide in the first turn last time, and looked like he was kind of leaning on his foe late in the stretch there. But as you said, Wise Up came back with an 85 buyer speed figure. There was another horse out of that race too that came back with an 87 in his subsequent
Yep.
start. So it's actually a decent race that
Very
he does
good
come
race.
out of at Monmouth.
That was the last, the fifth. I think the fifth place finisher
the
improved
end.
17 points. The last place finisher improved 30 points.
That was the last place
Yes.
finisher that
No,
won.
there's been horses that have run out of this race,
agree.
and I agree. But I don't have any problem with Mogo either. And I found a stat for Linda Rice. It's not a big number, but 6 for 20, 16 in the money. Turf to dirt, second off the claim. And actually, the numbers are 4 for 14 if you take out the off the turf races. The legendary Pete Macheska coming in here to grace us with his presence today. People don't know how brilliant that man is. In fact, very few people know it. Anyhow,
it.
great
He's
friend,
awesome.
great
He's
friend
awesome.
of ours and a great friend of the game. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just think this horse is super dangerous.
I'd also written down in my notes that this horse is built more like a sprinter, so I really liked the turn back in here too.
Yeah,
so
I
that
like
was why
it.
I kind of.
But both of them are turnbacks. These are the two.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I think the
I
2
agree.
and 3 and even the 4, they're in there somewhere, you know. But I'm with you.
I thought it was between those two mostly.
Yep, I will lean on them. Race number 4 came up, a fun race. And I've always had a thing for American Sonia, and I'm
too.
glad we didn't pick the same. I was going to pick her on top.
Kathy and Marissa,
And-
I do think is the horse to beat.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one first. I mean, she is good. She ran
She
really
is
well
good.
here 2 years ago in that boggy Saratoga in the Oaks. You know, she never really got involved in the race in New York. I mean, this is the Group 1 race, losing to a very, very
is the
good
Prix
1
de
to
l'Opera.
5 shot.
I mean,
here.
this is
no, this is
probably
the
the-
Prix Jean
Oh,
Romanette.
this is, I'm sorry.
This
but,
is where she runs
I mean,
second
last
to
time
Mo-
out, she ran in the Prix de l'Opera, which is probably the biggest race in France. But yes, Group 1 at Deauville in France, where she runs second by a head. She obviously has class. Now, she is interesting because I went back kind of looking through workouts, and there was a workout from back in February down at Palm Meadows with Brendan. So clearly she was sidelined for a bit. Don't know the whole story, but looks like she's been training forwardly at Turfway, and I think it's encouraging that she comes back in here. And she's run very well at Saratoga before, as you mentioned, finishing second to Elusive Princess in the very soft. It was pouring in that Saratoga Oaks
pouring.
that day.
Was when
Yeah.
that was when we screwed. That was when we basically did damage the turf course. That and the man
It was-
in the
it
Hall
was-
of Fame, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was out
That
there
was an awful
enjoying
day,
it.
right.
Yeah, she did not fire in the New York last year, but she's kind of made her yearly trip to Saratoga, and I think she's very interesting, just given her class.
No, she's a serious horse. I mean, she's capable of competing at extremely high levels in Europe and here as well. But Kathy and Marissa, we'll take a look at her race with second in the American Oaks. She feels pretty, obviously. You know, needs no introduction. She's good. Looking up Chad, trainer switches on the turf. He's just 11 for 40 with 28%, $1.91. But on 4 to 8 month layoffs, he's 4 for 8 with 7 hitting the board and a 539 ROI. So these horses come back and they run. She gets Lasix for the first time. I mean, listen, I have respect. I think Immensitude is good. I played her last time. I think there are other horses in here that are okay. Alluring Angel can run better in there. Didn't get the best of trips. Maybe the horse for Todd on the outside's a little bit interesting. Noir.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like one thing that bothers me is this horse's good races are on softer turfs,
I
aren't
thought
they?
the same thing. She was purchased at the Arcana December sale, the Horses of Racing Age sale, where you find a lot of really good turf mares, staying mares. And she was purchased for the U.S. equivalent of $295,000. I thought that she ran very well last time. It was on soft ground, and the way watching her European races, she's such a grinder. She has that big, long, staying stride. So I wanted to kind of see one here stateside
And I found
first.
a stat for Todd. Foreign shippers on the turf, he's just 1 for 14, 5 hitting the board. And in routes, he's 0 for 11, 3 in the money, which I think, considering it's Todd Pletcher we're talking about, it probably just means they need a race.
Yeah.
You know, more than
Agreed.
anything else. So
Agreed.
in that case, we'll see what happens. She's not exactly getting into a soft spot here.
No.
I mean, relative to where
This
she's
came up
running
a
in
very
Europe,
tough allowance.
American
Yeah.
Sonia is really, really
Yes.
good. Race number 5, I thought was a good one. Eddie will break after 6. Let's talk about Tractical Trackstar. I think the number was the high 70s because I want to point it out because that Chad Brown horse that fooled everybody yesterday came from Monmouth.
The first time starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Fiddling, Felix was beaten about it head in there. So ran a high 70, so got closer to this number.
Yeah.
We were talking about it a bit yesterday, where Felix has come back 13 days after that race, and I'm not a big bounce guy, but
Yeah.
you know, and obviously she showed yesterday that, or he showed that he's fast as you know he can get back these numbers. I don't know what to expect though from this horse, but I have to think
know.
he's a big player.
I know. I feel like it was such a big drop in class. It was off the layoff. Manny Franco that day was so aggressive to get him to the lead. And it seemed like, you know, I remember him kind of saying afterwards, he's not one to really pass horses. So you had to get to the front end with him. And I know that Fiddling Felix ran better yesterday, but Otto Napoti is not much horse. You know, there wasn't
But
really
they beat him by 10 lengths.
They
to be
did.
fair. I mean, it
to
was
be
a
fair.
fast race.
To be fair. For
and
me,
he could be
it's just, I need to see it again.
Listen, I've got him second. He could be the speed
He
in this
could be.
race, though.
He could
So,
be.
you know, I agree with what you're saying. Talk about Bye Bye Miles. We'll show a replay of his last race, which was claimed by Make Maker from Steve Asmussen.
He was. He went to the lead early on, and then he actually kind of looked throughout the whole running of the race. Like Keith Asmussen, who was aboard that day, just had a ton of horse. I thought it was interesting. And then he took over and pulled away. Third place finisher came back to win with a 79 Beyer speed figure, kind of, I thought, validating that race a little bit. It comes back at the same price tag with the 50,000, freshened up a bit, but it's for Flying P. They're not going to step him up, be more aggressive. It makes sense.
Well, actually, I think what is, I would say, the opposite sort of that is the positive. They are dropping a lot of races.
Yeah,
I think
he's not dropping.
Rapoli won 2 yesterday, so I think it's 10 him, 8 Klarovich, and 7
7
Flying P.
Yeah.
They're aggressively dropping this week, which I don't mean that as a criticism. They're
No.
trying to win races and win the title. I think it's
get
all
it.
good fun. But this horse is not dropping.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
That's a
I
very
think
good
that's
point.
a real positive
That is
with
a good
this horse.
point.
They're coming back. The one thing that worries me a little with him, and maybe it's just an esoteric, you know, I'm making something out of nothing. He's had a very heavy workload, most of it at Oaklawn this year.
I know.
So he's already had a.
That's
and
why
that's
I liked
why
that
he's
it
been
was a
off
little bit of
for almost
freshening.
3 months. But you know, I just wonder if he's a horse that's already had a tough
Yeah.
year. And as far as Uncle Jim. I thought Uncle Jim ran really well last time, and that was a race that just completely incinerated late.
Yes.
And he was the one that was fighting it out, that hung in the best in there. And I thought he was interesting. Horacio doesn't claim a lot of horses. His numbers aren't great off the claim, but with sprinters, he's 4 for 28 with a 261 ROI. So they're overperforming. He's run some fast figures, and I thought he'd just be a little bit of a better price than the other ones. I have no problem with the 4 and 6. You've got the 7 second. I'm not thrilled with Bear Claw Necklace.
I wanted to give him one more chance.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a delay in the paddock before that race. It was raining. It was a wet track, and it became wet just kind of like right before that race. And I know he really was in a good spot and didn't really do much running after that in that effort, but I wanted to give him one more chance off the bench.
I mean, he's not impossible, obviously, but my bigger issue also was that effort was on a sloppy track, and he improved a lot from a figure standpoint in a sloppy track, which scared me. Listen, I think Hedge is dangerous coming in for Ben Colebrook. I don't want to ignore him.
There are a
lot
know.
of horses
I did
that can win
not
this
want to
race.
leave him out either.
Yeah, there are a lot of horses. Listen, I don't think Bob's Carrots
He
on
was
the
running
rails
against
impossible in
Campana
here.
last time out.
Yeah,
I know.
this is a fascinating race,
It is.
actually. We'll break after 6, Eddie, as we come to 6. At 6 furlongs, I wanted to show Absolute Smokes workout. And it's funny, somebody was asking me about this horse a couple days ago and saying, they wondered if he was pretty good. And I looked and I got home and I looked and I realized, oh, yeah, this is a horse another terrific sales work. This horse was flying out there.
He went 10 flat, and you could see he was like
Feel
kind
like
of
they sped it up.
leaping in the
Right.
stride. I know. I thought it was an impressive workout for sure. He's the the half sister to Money Grab, who's a multiple stakes placed, and I watched a couple of the workouts, and I really liked the way that she's been doing coming into this race. I thought she was very, very interesting.
You're jumping on the hot Amelia Green, who had 2 wins yesterday, including her first stake at Saratoga.
Yeah.
First of what will be many, Amelia,
Sure.
but congratulations on that. Go ahead. Miss Narcissist. Was that, did Morley
She was a
trade that
multiple
horse?
stakes
Did
winner.
Tom-
Might have.
I know it was Linda once. I feel like.
She was
I don't-
precocious, too.
Yes. Go ahead.
She was good. Same thing. I liked her workouts. Her last workout was in company with Slightly Busy, who's a 3-year-old allowance type horse, and I thought that this one was going better than her. So that was a plus. Amelia was aboard in the morning too, and Manny Franco going to be riding here, and I thought that she was certainly live.
Can Ron McQuett win a race up here?
Yeah.
We by the way, we love Ron. He's great. he just can't win up here. And I don't think Ron would disagree. I mean, I tweeted how he hasn't won a race in a long time, and he liked the tweet. He's not, Ron knows. And I thought, he had a sensational winter at Oaklawn. I'm not trying to pick on him. He has not won a race here since Whitmore beat City of Light.
Which is crazy. Yeah. This one went 10-2 at the Timonium sale on the day that they did Breeze.
Which is pretty quick for Timonium.
Which is pretty quick on a dirt. It's funny, the way that she moves, she really kind of throws her legs out. She doesn't really kind of bend her knees as much. And I saw that in her workouts as well. Second dam is actually pretty strong. The dam is the sister. Hang on, I can't read my own writing. The dam is the sister to Julia Tuttle, who's a stakes winner, who's the dam of Tom
she's also a good
Stata.
dam. Yeah, she's a very good dam.
She's the dam of Tom Stata and Forever After
And others,
All.
I think, too.
Yeah, Forever After All.
Did Brad train her, Julia Tuttle?
That I don't
feel
know.
like he
I
might
think he did.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Irad's riding for Dave Dunk on the rail with a Cupid. I mean, that just caught my eye a little bit. Maybe I'm just guessing, and are you bluffing? This looks like a fun race.
Yeah.
All right, and there's a Yaupon for Kenny McPeak also, and
I know.
you got the horse fourth. I've got the horse fourth.
I love his progeny.
The Yaupons have
fan.
absolutely been running. This looks like a fun one. Race number 6. We'll take a break and we'll be back with anticipation.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
Hi, Keisha, Andy, reading a text I didn't quite understand. The With Anticipation ran for Jonathan Shepard. Of course, we had the Jonathan Shepard yesterday. Saul Kuhlman owning and breeding
I know.
jumpers now. He's really, his horizons
2
just
years
keep
in a row
expanding.
with a grade 1
and
for
he was
that
here
horse.
for it, too.
I know, and in a sport coat.
All right. He said, I believe, in the interview with you, he was going to be taking it off very quickly.
Yes,
right?
he said he's coming off right
I
after
was just
that
glad I
race.
wasn't there for it. I don't know if that was the only thing that came off, but who
Oh,
knows?
no.
I know he had a lot of people upstairs. I actually didn't get a chance to get up there. My mom was here yesterday. General Capital Partner. It's so hard to judge these 2-year-old turf races, especially the routes and the closers. And I want to talk about yesterday, Time to Dream. We'll talk about her in a second, a segue from this. One thing I'll say about this horse, he was in a different race than every other racehorse because nobody else gained a stitch of ground in any point basically in this race, and he flew by everybody. And those kind of wins tend to be more impressive than the figures are going to suggest.
No, I agree. It's painful watching poor British Invasion get run down, but he was forward attending the pace as a Capital Partner. He was actually a little bit green in the running of the race too. He was a little bit headstrong early. It took him a while to switch leads, but he was finishing with a flourish, and I believe they were very, very high on this horse too going into this race. And he is the son of Kingman. I just think that he looks like he's the goods. And don't you feel like no matter what, Dr. Agnew is going to take a lot of money in this spot?
Yeah, you want to go to his video next? Do you mind, Eddie, on Dr. Agnew? I agree. And listen, Dr. Agnew, he's obviously not a dirt horse. Yeah. I know he won. But he won because, number one, Jose gave him a great ride. Number two, it was a terrible off-the-turf field. And maybe it's a good sign that at least he knows how to have a competitive edge on a surface he's obviously not suited for. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach with him because I think the Lady Eli is going to attract more attention than it deserves at the windows. And listen, I hope he's wrong. I hope he's wrong for Cherie. I always like to see her do well. And we all loved Lady Eli. I'm just a little skeptical.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, no matter what, he is doing something for the first time today, even though he does have the pedigree to say this should be the right spot for him.
Yeah. We'll take a look at final score, and here's Johnny, right, Eddie? Why not? Look at them. I thought this was a weak race.
I thought so too. And final score kind of put them to sleep on the front end.
Yep.
I do think that Here's Johnny ran well. Obviously, Here's Johnny is the full brother to Grade 1 winner World Beater. So turf is certainly his thing. But final score just really kind of got comfortable on the front end. And
They
I
both
don't
got such
think
delicious
they
trips in
did.
here. And
They really did.
you know, I was talking about speed figures. You know, Time to Dream, the filly who won the PG yesterday, and she looked so good and impressive for her start. She gets a 57 by her. It's like, I just don't care. I was
It's
even
hard.
talking
Yeah.
about Andy
you
on the
really
way in.
can't read into them
Yeah,
at this stage.
it's so much the last quarter, last 5/16, and she
Yeah.
got a 75 for her, you know, domination of the race yesterday, and it shows. It's not that the figures are wrong; it's that the races are extremely difficult to quantify for
Yeah.
figure makers.
That makes sense.
And I think, like, you know, you look at some other numbers like the Ragas and things. I think a lot of them are getting very bunched together. We've had these conversations on the call about how close the numbers are. Turf figures are tricky in and of themselves. 2-year-old, especially route turf figures, are virtually impossible.
Yeah.
And I think that horse, Time to Dream, she is okay. I
She
mean, the
was
competition's going to get
very
steeper,
impressive
but
yesterday,
she's
though.
she's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't be impressed. I was hoping we had a video for Gloves Off. I'm putting Gloves Off on top. I just have to take a shot.
I like
thought
this
this
horse, too.
horse
I agree.
was very impressive last time out, and I've seen way too many races from Ellis that get these ridiculously low figs in the turf going
I
long.
know.
A true legend of the game, Angel Cordero, on his way out. We get all the legends of
know.
racing and sports around here. I don't. If that 56 to me could be an 80. I'm not saying the figure's wrong. These horses come from Ellis. They always run faster.
I thought this horse ran exceptionally well, too. A lovely pedigree, though, and on the bottom side, a little bit more dirt, man, too. The second dam is Round Pond, so the dam is the sister to Highland Falls.
I love Round Pond.
Who is, yes, I mean,
My best Breeders'
such
Cup
a
ever
great
was
Breeders' Cup
2000
distaff winner.
2006.
Such a great
She was coming
race
off a
mare,
dead rail
too.
at Belmont.
Oh, really?
When she
Is
won
that
that
your
race, yeah,
ankle?
yeah.
I like that.
No, yeah.
Cool.
That was a big. That
Cool.
was that
Yeah,
street
but I
sense.
thought this horse ran exceptionally well first time.
Yeah, I got him on top. We'll see what happens in the With Anticipation race number 8. I know that you like the 10 who was scratched.
I know.
And I'm sorry to see him scratched for a friend of mine who owns him. I really think the 2 and 11 sort of separated themselves a bit from the field. We'll start with Organite, who I have a lot of love for, and A Bourbon for Toby. A Bourbon for Toby, I think, it's not the distances that were a problem. I do think getting a more inside post, but he's got to break, and
Yes.
that's the concern. His problems, and I
keeps
owe
kinda
Kendrick
hitting
an
the
apology.
gate
I was
and-
very tough
yeah.
on Kendrick for the ride on June 20th, and after what happened with Flavian last time, it's clear that this is a horse. He got
Yeah.
left on Kendrick 2 back, which screwed up
Yeah.
all the plans. He got left on Flavian. He cannot get out of the gate, and if he can get out of the gate, he ran super last
I
time.
know.
He was best in there.
And I've always felt that it's long, like this distance on the turf. I liked him last time. I'm sure he's been frustrating because he has run very well in those long distance turf races. But I agree. I mean, he hit the gate last time. Getting out has been a little bit of the trouble for him. But I do think that he is obviously a horse you have to respect. Organite was a little bit more forward last time
Yeah.
out, which I think was certainly to his benefit. Noble Confessor wired the field that day, and he kind of had that good trip. In
He
the
had
stalking.
such a better trip
He
than
had
the other
so
one. And I
much
like
of a better
Organite,
trip.
but
I know.
that's area. As far as Durand, who I put on top, this horse ran last time.
He
I
did.
mean, he was never really on the rail. This was the period when the rail was extremely strong.
The winner
The
got
winner
that
just got
sweet dream
the
trip.
most
Yeah.
ridiculously easy trip and
Yes.
a great ride. And I don't know where the other speeds were that day and let this horse go. This was, I thought, and I did not like this horse going in this race. I was
No.
very impressed.
Yeah, I agree. He ran well. He was the only one that really kind of made up any ground late in that race there. He is the half-brother to Uni, multiple Grade 1 winner, so big pedigree on this one, too. And
And Satsas, who won the
Satsas
ARC for
by
Peter
Satsas,
Branton.
of course,
It was
yeah.
during COVID, and Peter did not go.
Satsas, the brother to Sister Charlie.
Yes,
Yeah.
same family,
Yeah.
a very good family. I'm curious why you have Limo third, and I'll tell you after you tell me why.
Because there was a big pedigree on this one for the turf.
Not in the first family, really, right? It's
No.
more the second.
Well, the dam's only win was on synthetic. The second dam was a multiple stakes winner, long on the turf in Europe. She's the sister to graded stakes quality horses who won in the turf in Europe as well. I watched the last turf work where Junior Alvarado was up, went really easily over the grass and seemed to cover the ground really nicely. So I thought he was very intriguing getting to the turf.
Yeah, my friend Paul was saying to me, we were talking a little about this race, and he didn't disagree necessarily about Duran and such, but he said he thinks that Limo is going to be a turf horse, and he's got a very, very good opinion. So that's why I included him. I was curious, and you have sort of similar thoughts to Paul. We'll see what happens in race number 8.
Should mention real quick, though, the 5, Operation Overlord, because that one has the biggest pedigree in the field. It's just a little kind of starting at the long distance. I mean, certainly bred to want to do exactly that out of War Flag and have to personal best and capture the flag.
Yep. No, I agree.
Huge
I'm glad you
pedigree on
mentioned
that
that. I
one.
meant to mention earlier and missed that as well. That horse has a very big pedigree. Race number 9. Which I'm apparently very eager to get to. I think you got scratched out of this one as well.
I did.
Well, look at the horse you have on top, 24 Mamba.
I scratched into this one.
This is
I do think
this is the win on May 8th.
Yeah, he's kind of the horse to beat in some ways on the drop-in class. I mean, he faced Little Knee in Scotland and Concrete Glory last time. Baby Yoda in that huge effort, 2 starts back. So he's dropping in for the 50 today. I thought he was going to be a shorter price in this spot, so I had a little bit of an opinion, but I scratched into him. He's the horse to beat.
And they claimed him for 62.5.
Yeah.
They won a nice purse the next start. So I don't think this is a particularly negative drop down in a barn that's trying to win with a horse that makes sense. The one thing that worried me last time, he was on the rail last time, and the rail was very strong. I was kind of hoping watching it that he had more of an outside trip, and he didn't really. And, you know, I didn't think that the start was that bad either for him.
I didn't think so either, no.
Yeah, so I don't know. Listen, I've got him second here, and I've absolutely nothing wrong with him. I think he's totally the horse to beat in this race. I also think Reddington is dangerous in here. We'll take a look at Reddington's race on May 4th where he won, and he did get a good trip to win that race. He was down inside. The rail was very good this day. He was with the bias, but this horse was facing a very tough field last time out as well.
Yes, and then
was
2
wide, the
starts
rail was
back
good.
had to run against Highland Falls in full screen. I mean, very, very tough field in there. He's run some fast numbers. He is off the claim for Michelle Giangiulio, who's had a little bit of a more quiet meet for sure. But this is a horse with a ton of back class too.
Yeah, no, I think he's super dangerous.
I agree.
I'm going to give Win It a last chance.
I kind of threw him in for 4th. I get it.
Can't get out of the gate.
Oh,
and
that
it's
is
just,
the biggest,
you know,
the biggest
a frustration.
Yeah.
Dan Ward does really good work.
He does.
You know, off the claim with Dirt Sprinters, he's 9 for 41 with a 310 ROI, suggesting he's winning with $15 horses and getting them home. And I know that Win It is good enough to win this race.
He absolutely
and I am
is.
concerned. But you know what? At least his post is a little farther from the inside. He seems to get mired down there quite often. And if he can get out of the gate, he can be tough, and he's going to be a price today. So I put him on top without any real confidence. You have Bermudo second, cutting back in distance.
Yes, drop in class, cut back in distance. Gustavo Rodriguez has had a great meet. I know that this horse won at the 9 furlongs, 2 starts back, but has run well sprinting in the past and just thought he was interesting on the turn back.
He is. Gustavo, for what it's worth, is 4 for 41, turning back with a $1.63 ROI, so they're bigger prices, and he's not doing badly. I don't know. What's funny with him is that, you know, I remember Maggie really liked him when he won 2 back. And she was saying, I've always wanted this horse to get more distance.
I know he's a tall and leggy type. I know.
It's a little bit of a strange one for me.
It is.
Are you at all worried about the possibility that Barksdale could get loose again?
Yes.
Or did he just beat a terrible field last time?
I thought he beat a terrible field.
Not a terrible field. A much weaker field than this one. That's
yes.
not fair. Those are good horses
Yes.
he ran against.
But he did break, and I remember because he was claimed away from Will Walden, and I asked Will before, and I was like, so what's the key to getting him out of the gate? And he said, if I knew, I'd tell you.
Crossing your fingers?
Yeah,
right,
but I mean, Irad, who rode him that day, gave him a huge warm-up, you know, tried to kind of like rev his engines up beforehand, and he broke, and he was best in there. But you never really know if he's going to get out of the gate.
We should have a
cleanly.
betting pool as who's going to break worse between him
and Win It.
I mean, the thing is, I guess with him, if he breaks badly, it's worse than Win It, because Win It just breaks like about 3/4 of a length to a length slow.
Barksdale
He could break
will be
2-3
really
slow.
slow.
So he's sort of, you have to like, but I don't know. But he's more reliable getting out of the gate. He has some ability. Did you look at Treaty Obligation at all? I did not love Claimed Away from Linda, and I thought this horse was disappointing last time.
Yeah.
Not because he was very lucky to win last time. I know he finished first, I should say.
Yes, well, disqualified, yes. Yeah, I agree.
tougher field.
I thought it was a drop in class, into the right spot that day, and I thought he was meeting tougher today.
All right, see what happens in race number 9. These are fun races. They are
really good
very
card.
competitive races, and then we get to the 10th, which may not be that competitive. You know what? Can we get rid of the first video I was going to show, Eddie? I don't know why I wanted to show that video. The one, you know what? Show it. Sinani. How do you pronounce it? Kanani. This horse is going to get bet because of this figure. And I know that Brad won with a big stretch out here that got very fortunate in a very weak field. Now, this is not exactly the deepest of fields either. His numbers stretching out are not great. He is 2 for 8 at NYRA because he won with that horse here the other day. And also, she was on the inside, and the rail was the place to be, and she got beaten by a talented horse, but the horse had a much worse trip.
Yeah, I mean, they were dueling every step. Quiet Confidence did come back to win again. Got an 88 by her speed figure in her next start.
Yeah, and then she lost the stake.
And then she
Jimmy
lost
has
the
her, right?
stake.
Ryerson, I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
She's a nice horse.
She was one of the overlays of the lead into the meet, the July 4th week. Didn't she
Yes,
win
that's
that
right.
week and
She
pay
did.
like
She did.
$18?
Yeah, she did. She's
Could've been
a nice
favored there.
horse for sure. Yeah.
I just don't want her going long.
I know. That was going to be my next question. I know that there are only 2 times going long on the turf or in stakes company. And as a 2-year-old, so there was a little bit of question there, and she should be forward from the inside. It just seems like our better races have come a bit shorter.
And there may be some pace. You've got Life Advice who's got to go. Does it count? I saw Roy Lerman riding his bike by me crossing Union Avenue.
Does that
Do you have
count?
to see him on the grounds?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. Competitive Threat is just the horse to beat in this race,
Yes,
and I'm
she
not her
is.
biggest fan. But I will say, I think a little less distance might be better as we show her last race because she made the winning move, and, Love You, Miss You, Mean It. Got an unbelievably great ride from Dylan to run her down, and it was sort of a disappointing loss. I wonder if maybe she going a mile, it'll be a little bit better for her even. I don't love her, but I just thought she got in the right spot today.
She is the horse to beat. She just seems like she's kind of right there, a little bit of a ho-hum type of horse. Yeah, maybe a little bit less distance will suit her. She was in a stalking spot. She was second best. Love You, Miss You, Mean It, I thought ran very well that day.
She got a fabulous ride by Dylan.
I know out of that same race, Aviso did not do much running in there.
That was no. She's from the one, two
the
back
previous
for,
race. I'm sorry, 2 back for Competitive Threat. Aviso did not do much running in that last race, but I wanted to give her one more chance because I really do think that she's a turf horse.
She is a turf horse.
She's going to be a little bit of a better price in here. She stayed up in Saratoga. I want to give her one more chance in this spot.
Yeah. I put her second. David Aragona had made a big case for me about her last time. And
I think I
as
picked her
anyone
last
knows,
time,
or anybody that has a
too.
brain, I have a huge amount of respect for Dave's opinion,
Yeah.
and anybody that doesn't understand how sharp he is and how much work he does. Source has had a lot of trips in turf races, and I think she's okay, but she did not run well
No, she
last
didn't.
time, and
She
that
didn't.
worried me. Now, we haven't seen her now for almost 2 months. She missed a race, so maybe she came out of the race with something, and maybe I didn't really look that hard. She did work 12 days later, so I don't really know, but then she had a gap in them, so maybe there was something a bit amiss with her.
Yeah.
Nothing major, and I agree. She's the one I want besides the favorite here.
so
See what
too.
happens in race number 10. We'll wrap it up in the 11th, and man, there's a lot going on in here.
There
and I
is
think,
a
this is
lot
we
going
lost the
on in this
commish.
race.
That's the one we lost, Eddie. I was getting it
Got
wrong.
it.
But you and I have both landed
I
on the same
know.
horse. Let's go.
I saw that. I have an opinion about Red Sea. I am so excited to see him back on the turf. I think he's a turf horse. He's by English Channel. There's more turf pedigree. I know that he did not do much running first time
well,
out.
that's not true.
He actually did show speed.
He did plenty of
He
running
showed
in that
speed.
race. He just couldn't get the distance. It's
That-
not.
I
He
phrased
did not.
it
Yeah.
wrong. He showed
That's the
speed.
thing to me.
Yes.
He did run, and I'll tell you, Tony's
Blinkers on.
Tony's barn has been going extremely well, which is great to see. He's a terrific trainer. He was kind of pretty dead last year at different times, and and I don't.
Yeah.
Tony's a friend and somebody I have a world of respect for, and his barn's going well. I thought this horse was really interesting.
I was
here.
really excited
Yeah.
when I saw him back on the grass. I
And
was like,
look,
oh, yay.
Where else do we want to go? I'll tell you what, Todd's horse Chief No Nay has some pedigree, but
Yes.
I don't know, man, in a maiden claiming race. This
That
horse
one
has pedigree,
has
though.
a big pedigree. Was purchased at Goff's as a yearling for $407,000. Big pedigree. The second dam is Tu Charmant, who of course won the Matriarch and Del Mar Oaks. So there's
$1.6 million.
yeah, huge pedigree on this one. But debuting for 50 as a 3-year-old gelding, that was a little bit scary to me.
Wesley, too, with his first year. Billy White Shoes, who is a half the first time, and I didn't want them. We both have repurposed second. This is another one. What did they pay for this one?
$342,000.
So it's no different than the one for Todd,
So it's
basically.
the exact same. Yeah, the exact same. The dam was fourth in a Group 1. She was a stakes winner in Europe. But
And Luca Kamani trained the second dam.
yes,
That was
but one
kinda
thing I will say, and what thought made me interested in repurpose, I know the last workout was here, but this one has been preparing at Monmouth, and Chad Brown's Monmouth team have done an exceptional job
For
with
years.
first-time starters and layoff runners in particular.
I agree. They do an incredible job
Yeah.
down there. These horses come up and they can run.
Yeah.
What about the Safi Joseph horse, the 3 we both have in there a little
Sod
bit?
Siren purchased as a yearling at Arcana for $271,000. Does have experiences dropping in class. There's pedigree for turf. I thought ran a decent race. Didn't do much running in there, but seemed a decent race on Topeta.
So there's a lot of expensive horses in here running for 50,000 is
there
basically
are.
what we're saying
There
this year.
are.
And we'll see. And perhaps one or two of them are
That's
runners.
life.
Yeah, we'll see. Yes, listen,
Yeah.
that's the game. You buy and you hope, but they're worth what they're worth now. It's
Yeah.
not really matter what they paid. Anyhow, Acacia, thanks. Great work as always.
you.
Appreciate you watching. A fun 11 race card, an absolutely gorgeous day here. Head over to Naira Bets if you're not a member. Use the promo code SPA200 and we'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We've got a $40 feeder on Friday for the $300 contest on Saturday. You can play one or both. You can try to qualify. Get all the info on this. A lot of fun to play these. Play them through Naira Bets only. Go to nairabets.com/contest. Another reason to be a member of Naira Bets. We've got a 10% exacta bonus, which I'm going to opt into right now, optimistically. I made a really moronic blunder that just annoys me.
What happened?
When that turf race that the horse got put up, Roos, that was
Yes.
rained off last week, as you
Yeah.
know. I picked Roos when it got rained off last week,
Oh,
and I
no.
wimped out and picked him
I
third
did feel
yesterday.
really bad for Fredo.
I did too,
Yeah.
and I
But I
felt bad for
understand the
Christopher
call.
Elliott. I think
I understand
you
the call.
can't sort of take down Zulu Kingdom
Yep.
and not take
No,
a
I
sort of,
agree.
and
It's the same
Aragona
spot.
made a good point where he was saying to me, which is sort of obvious, but he said, you can't. How can you not say that this cost the horse a placing
Yes,
or may have
it was
cost him?
tight for the
Yeah.
4 of them at the wire.
So
yeah.
anyway, that was. And I'll tell you what, we were on the air. Richie saw that. Richie
Yes.
was on that. He said to Greg and I the second it happened. What else do we have? We've got cross country pick 5, 2 at Horseshoe Indy, 3 here, starting with a win anticipation to kick it off. We've got the low rollers contest over by the Miller Time 4-Star Dave Sports Bar. My good friends Ray and Jay are over there. I like to make fun of them, but they are wonderful people. Ray dunked Cody at the thing.
Oh,
He threw a
really?
perfect strike. Yes,
Did he didn't dunk you?
I think no, they all ganged up on Cody. I had enough of people dunking on me. I had Seth standing there and giving kids $20 to go over to
That's
try to dunk me.
fantastic.
It was, listen, I appreciated anyone that did it. If you can't have a little fun for charity,
Yeah.
especially up here, then you just don't know about having fun.
Awesome.
And you know what? The water was warmer this year.
Was it?
It's not
It's good.
it's not the getting dunked that matters. It's the adrenaline every time somebody's throwing a pitch.
You think
because
you're
you're
gonna
waiting
go
for the
in.
flinch, so you flinch every time, or at least I do. But like once you get dunked, it's not really a big deal. Like when they're run when
You
they when
are
they
a very good sport.
well, if
doing
they
that,
give
though.
money $100, they
Right.
can push the button. If they
Yeah.
miss, you know it's coming. I don't even care. You know what I mean? It's the throwing thing. It is an experience everybody does not have to do, but it's a fun thing to do, and happy to do it, and happy that other people are willing to do it as well. Dave O'Rourke did it. Any other track CEOs get in the dunk tank? I would say no. So that's a challenge to the others out there. What else do we have? We have the Taste New York Pavilion. Check out all the great products made in New York State. Head over. It's by Gate A in the Family Zone. And last but not least, actually the penultimate, quarter zip giveaway on Sunday. Going to be an amazing day, a 14-race card, including an absolutely tremendous Jockey Club Gold
What a
Cup.
great race that came up.
Great race coming up.
I'm
We've
so
got
excited.
The Pacific Classic on
Yep.
Saturday, where you've got journalism meeting Olders, meeting Nisos and Fierceness, kind of an interesting matchup. It's interesting to think of Nisos and Fierceness meeting in this race because they've never met.
No.
And they were last year before the Derby. They,
Kind of the
probably in
big
March
two.
before Nisos got hurt
Yeah.
or went on the shelf. They were the 1-2 Derby horses, right? And sort
Yeah.
of amazing. They're finally coming together out there, see what happens there. And we are on from 1 to 7 on FS2 today. You on early or late?
I'm on early.
I'm on early as well.
Yes.
All right. We're done. You're just getting started, as is Frank Miramati. We appreciate you watching. Frank's up next with a reprise of the Scratch and Changes. Enjoy a glorious Thursday, day 36 at Saratoga.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.